All right. For anybody who's curious and ever watches any of these, I don't think that anybody will ever watch these. I don't even rewatch these. I don't edit them at all. I make all this up. And I try to keep all these book reviews under 5 minutes, because let's be real. We all have the attention spans of ants nowadays. It's amazing that people can even still read books. But if you ever rewatch these, because I got sidetracked from what I was going to say, I'm just filming like 3 videos. The one you just saw for American Elsewhere, yep, and now I'm going to film a video for this book right here by David Farland. I've had these books since like high school. I just, for some reason, finally started reading them. This one is called Brotherhood of the Wolf, Book 2 of the Rune Lords. I really liked the first book. The last like year or two, I've had such bad fantasy fatigue. So much Sarah J. Maas, so much Sanderlanche, and while I liked all that stuff like 5 years ago, I was super into it. I'm just so fatigued. Everything is like, if you're not on top of it when it comes out, you might as well just give up. But I decided to read this. I was going to start reading the Malazan stuff back there, or the Janie Ward stuff right there. But Janie Ward's is somehow blown up now, kind of in a corner of YouTube, and I'm like, I don't want to get my hopes up and just be disappointed. So I started reading this. Should I pull the old down? Boosh! Yep, read that. I liked the first book. First book I thought was, here's what I'll say. There's nothing special about the first book, right? But man, was it fun. It wasn't like a modern, like, epic thing. It wasn't... If you're reading it expecting some kind of Sanderson thing, you weren't going to get it. But it was really fun, and the magic system was unique. It was unique. And you didn't have to like go overboard explaining it. He's like, here's the premise. And he followed the rule, right? Like, it's a magic system with pros and cons. And it works. I'm not going to go into that. I talked about that in the first review. If you want, and anyone watches this, go watch this, because right now I'm going to talk about this book. I think that this series is probably could be considered a military fantasy thing, which I'm not super into. I really like when books have a main bad guy, like a central focus. Like, I just finished playing Expedition 33, the game. For anybody who doesn't play games, it's a game. And the main bad, there's just a main bad guy, and I like that in my fantasy books. And this book has it. So I think the reason I'm okay with the military fantasy aspect of this, because typically I'm not. And I know before you go, you just mouse it. You're gonna read it, and it's mostly. And I'm like, I know. This book just it introduces a handful of new characters. I think that this book is primarily really setting up something else. So it has that setup vibe. Again, the writing is solid. David Farland's incredible at writing fantasy books. Which somebody, I think it was Brian Lee Durfee who said that that's not even his name. I think David Farland's a pseudonym for something, but or a fake name. Again, I would rank this book lower than the first book. The first book was just fun. It wasn't trying to sell you on anything. It was just fun. It was, and if it did, the dialogue felt dated for today's kind of fantasy stuff. yeah, there's not much to say about this book. If you like the first book, give this a read.